Guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Athletic Club versus Barcelona in the semi-final of the Spanish Super Cup. The first opportunity to win a trophy this season is now among us, and it is a massive opportunity for Barcelona to take a big step forward. Very difficult semi-final. Usually the semi-final one for Barcelona is not too bad. You have your Betis or Osasuna, but we have now Athletic Club. It is, another rematch, you could say, of the 2021 Spanish Super Cup final, but it will be a very difficult game in which hope Barcelona do walk out victorious. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 8 p.m. local time, so an hour earlier than our usual kickoff time. And this match will be taking place in the King Abdullah Sports City in, of course, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, where this tournament will be taking place. And the referee for this match has been confirmed. On the pitch, it will be Miguel Angel Ortiz, and on the VR, it will be Pizarro Gomez. They've also confirmed very early, I don't know why, but they have done so, the final referee for the potential final if we do make it. It's fucking Gil Manzano. So if we make it to the final, it's gonna be an even harder job than we expect, but I guess we can cross that bridge another time if we do come to it. Now, this tournament will be taking place over the course of the next week. Of course, there are two semifinals for the Spanish Super Cup. Of course, we are in the first one tomorrow, and the second one is on Thursday between Real Madrid and Mallorca. Of course, Madrid have gotten to this tournament based on winning La Liga. Barcelona, of course, got in second place in La Liga. That's how we got into it. Athletic Club got into it based on winning the Copa del Rey last season, and Real Mallorca are in it because they were the runner-up of the Copa del Rey last season. Of course, the final will be taking place on Sunday for those two who do win it. Of course, those who don't win it, I'm not quite too sure if they have a game this weekend, but only time will tell. Now, in terms of the format for this tournament on the pitch, it is confirmed that this year, for the first time, there will not be any extra time. Now, this was reported quite a few months ago. Hopefully it's still the same, but again, over the past five tournaments that we've already had in Jeddah for the Spanish Super Cup, there's always been extra time, but now there is no longer extra time. 90 minutes. If it's a draw, we will go immediately to a penalty shootout. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Athletic Club. Alongside Barcelona and Real Madrid, they're probably the third most historic team in Spanish football history, one of three teams who've never been relegated from the first division, and they're, of course, a fantastic team as we've seen over the past few years. And the last time we faced them was this season in, I believe, the third game of the season or second game, so it was very early on in the season, where we did nearly win 2-1 at the Montjuic. Lamine Yamal with that beautiful shot from outside the box from a corner kick very early on in the first half. We, of course, conceded a penalty right before halftime. Then Lewandowski with a bit of a Jamie goal with 10 to 15 minutes to go to secure all 3 points. Lineup for the match on the screen on the right-hand side as well. Marc Bernal was playing in this game. That means this is definitely our second game of the season then. So, I mean, it was a pretty much similar system. Pretty much, I think we will have a similar lineup, barring maybe 1 or 2 changes at the absolute most. But again, it was a narrow game, which thankfully Barcelona did come out on top. Now, if you take a look at Athletic Club's last 6 matches in all competition, in their last match, they won a penalty shootout in the round 32 of the Copa del Rey against Leganes. They beat Osasuna 2-1, drew 1-1 with Alaves, won a Europa League game against Fenerbahce 2-0, beating Villarreal 2-0, and beating Real Madrid 2-1 as well. You probably remember that game pretty well. Very narrow game. I thought the club got a bit lucky there with that Valverde mistake, and in the end walk away with 3 big points on their side. But let's take a look now at the last 3 league games in all competition. Firstly is that 2-0 win against Villarreal, which is comfortable in the end. Villarreal coming on a bit of a slope during this game as well, because they, of course, learned that Athletic Club did have in this game the 4-2-3-1, as they do play a lot under their manager Ernesto Valverde. But I wouldn't say it was a comfortable game for them. It was quite tight. Their goals coming in very late on in each half, but in the end, 3 big points for them. But with it being at the San Mamés, you do expect it to go that way. Their next game was a 1-1 draw against Alaves. And now Alaves, of course, fighting for their lives, a relegation candidate for sure. And, walking away there without the win is no mean feat. I believe, I'm not mistaken, Alaves were winning this game 1-0 for the majority of this game, and Bilbao scored a 90th minute equalizer to get a draw. By the way, I think Athletic Club have not lost a game in about a few months. I think their last loss was probably against us, if I'm not mistaken, but they have, gone probably since I think October without losing a game whatsoever. So they're on a great run, and this is, that this last minute winner kind of saved the streak. And their last match of all competition was a 2-1 win against Osasuna. Very, very tight game as well. Of course, last game was the Copa del Rey game, but they fully rotated for that game. None of their starters played whatsoever. But this game was very tight at the El Sadar as well, which is a very hostile and difficult stadium to go to. And they did walk away with a very, very narrow but deserved victory. Now on the screen right now is that I believe that Ernesto Valverde will select for this match. They have a very, very common and pretty, straightforward Gala 11 with Unai Simon in goal, a back four of Grosalbel, Villavian, Paredes, and Yuri Bershiche, a double pivot of Galeta and also Guaziri, with of course Olial Sunset in the 10. On the right being Inaki Williams, on the left Nico Williams, and up front, Gurazeta. Now, Sunset and Nico Williams are both dealing with knocks. The athletic club did confirm yesterday that they both have injuries and did not train yesterday, so they could maybe potentially not start the game, but there's a great invention called painkillers. I think they just pop them up on drugs. I think they will end up starting the game. If neither of them start, it will be a big blow for athletic club, but I think in the end they will end up playing this game, but they are coming to this game with knocks, so keep that in mind. Again, lineup very, very strong, and I think barring one change, this will be the starting 11. So overall, final thoughts on Athletic Club. Of course, they're a very, very good team. They're very well managed by the former Barcelona manager Ernesto Valverde, who of course led Barcelona in the first ever Spanish Super Cup format with it beating Saudi Arabia, where of course he got sacked. Listen, he's a fantastic manager. He's a good manager. I wouldn't say with the level of Barcelona, but for Athletic Club, he's absolutely sublime. He's gotten big wins over the past few years. He won them the Copa del Rey, their first Kings Cup in about, I think, 40 years or something crazy like that. So he's done miracles for them, and they of course have a fantastic side. Of course, the two players to look out for is the goddamn Williams brothers in Inaki and Nico. They both, Inaki specifically, tends to turn into prime Pele against us, and I have no doubt he will do it in this game as well. Again, I also rate a lot their center back partnership of Vivian and Paredes, very, very strong this season. Unai Simon in goal has a mistake in him, but overall is a very solid goalkeeper. Sunset is a very clinical and creative attacking midfielder as well. It's a very, very good team with, I believe, little to no weaknesses because they work as a unit, and that's always difficult to break down. So again, a lot of strong points to them, a lot of some weak points as well, which hopefully Barcelona can exploit, but it won't be easy against a very, very good side like Bilbao, who've got a lot of big wins this season, especially most recently. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this tournament has been officially announced and confirmed by Barcelona, and it is as follows. I'm going to really rattle off these names. Cubarsí, Balde, Araujo, Inigo, Gavi, Ferran, Pedri, Lewandowski, Ansu, Raphinha, Peña, Torre, Christensen, Fermin, Casado, Victor, Yamal, Olmo, De Jong, Kounde, Eric, Chesney, Astralaga, Bernal, Ford, Martin, Dominguez, and Tony Fernandez. I'm quite impressed with myself. Anyway, so Bernal's in the squad list just for vibes. He came to, of course, continue his recovery in Saudi. He will not be playing whatsoever. Of course, Dani Olmo and Pau Victor are still not registered today. They won't be playing either. Apart from that, everyone else is fit and eligible to play. Now, of course, we do have some big recovery news on some of these players who have not been officially given the medical green light. According to Jaime Miguel from AES, Lamine Yamal, Andreas Christensen, Ferran Torres, and Hector Fort will all receive the medical green light in Saudi Arabia, and they are expected to be officially in the squad list for the Bilbao game. And Tony Juan Martin from Sport as well confirmed this as well. So they're all are on the verge of getting the medical clearance. Of course, Christensen will be back for the first time since August. Fort has been out since the Atletico Madrid game. Ferran was out since, I forget even when, was it Leganes? I don't know, I don't care. And of course, Lamine Yamal was beforehand as well. Now, with Lamine, there is a lot of optimism in the fact that he can actually start the game. Having Miguel coming out saying that Lamine Yamal is feeling very good and that he may end up playing 70 to 75 minutes as a starter in this game, but the decision will mainly go down to Hansi Flick. Now, of course, when he first got injured, I'm saying, get him on that plane, let him be at least semi-fit for Bilbao, fully fit for the final, and we're well on course for that, as expected. That Christmas break coming in clutch, so Lamine Yamal should be fully fit, ready to go for this entire tournament, let alone just the final. Big news there. Also has some news, of course, in regards to the registration of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. Right now, we're in the phase where We've submitted all the documents to the higher courts to get a result. Basically, to spare you the mumbo jumbo here, Barcelona have filed everything. They're pretty confident that they can get some of the temporary registration going through, and we'll wait and see how things happen over the next few days. Again, very unlikely they'll play this game, and there are massive doubts for the final as well. The sad has come to this point, but it is what it is, you could say. And also there's reports saying that Almo and Victor are still, frustrated and, confused and, want to play, which again makes sense. It's logical. Hopefully it does not affect the team mentally. That's where my issue comes in. Of course, the two players can be disappointed, no doubt about that. And again, John Romero came out saying that the CSD confirmed that they've received all the documents, and I'll wait and see how things do turn out. Time now to get into the press comments reaction of the captain, Raphinha. As we all know, in the Spanish tournaments, a player always comes to managers during the presser, and Raphinha was selected for this one. So let's go and see what he had to say this afternoon in Saudi Arabia. He came out saying that a title gives any team confidence. We have to be ready to fight for everything, and now we have the opportunity in the middle of the season to fight for a title that can give us a lot of confidence for what's to come. There's as on Dani Olmo about Victor. It's a very complicated situation. We players never want to go through these kind of moments. It's complicated for us because we don't know if we can count on them. Complicated for them who don't know if they will be able to play or not. I hope it will be resolved soon as possible. Then asked why he didn't play in the Copa Del Rey against Barca, and then we decided I had to rest because I had some discomfort, but I feel much better now, and I hope to be able to play in this game. Talked about the form of Barcelona recently, saying that football is unfair. We played a great game against Atletico and we still lost, and football sometimes is like that. We want to be focused on the game 100% and make the minimum number of mistakes so that we can take the victory with us. We have to trust that Dani Olmo and Pau Victor situation will be resolved quickly. We have received very positive messages from the club, and now we have to wait. Many times we know the same situation as the media, and we have to be calm. So basically the players aren't that much informed, more so than the media. So to say wire levels dropped recently. We're not always at 100% all season. There will be some downturns. We need to get back up to winning ways as many games as possible. Now that does make sense. Of course, you can't be at 100% for the whole season. I understand that there's definitely going to be downturns, but the effectiveness of the downturn and also the longevity of it is crazy. You cannot tell me you play well for 2 months and then play crap for 2 months. That's not how it works. So I can see his point a little bit there, but a little bit I can't also see it as well. Then he was asked on Araujo's renewal future about what his thoughts upon it. He said, look, I can't answer that question. It's a personal situation. He and the club can tell you anything, but I cannot say anything. He was then asked a very good question that his role as the captain in the Olmo Pau Victor case. And look, the truth is that as a complicated situation, it's a situation that we have to wait and see what's going to happen. At the club, they tell us that they are positive and that things will be resolved as quickly as possible. The Spanish Super Cup, in my opinion, is a super important cup. The two best teams in the league in the Copa del Rey play against each other. To be able to fight for the title amongst the best from the last year is spectacular. Then he was asked, does the Dani Olmo situation affect Barcelona's potential future signings, which is a very, very good question. He said, look, in the end, if I'm being honest, I think it does. I cannot say no, otherwise I would be lying to you. If I was in another club and I was seeing the situation of Pau and Dani are living, I would surely think about it twice whether to come to this club or not. But when I signed for Barcelona, I knew the situation of the club and I saw I had a % chance of playing with the shirt, and I waited until the last moment, and I don't regret anything. He's not wrong there. I mean, people are losing their mind about Raphinha saying this, and I think he's spot on. But again, the reason why it's different now than it is last time is that now we're finally back in the 1-1 rule, which means that this situation will never ever happen again. This will be the last time. So now the club in the summer and in the winter, if they need to, they can give away registration guarantees clause in the contract. No worries, no qualms, no problems. Because now we're back in that 1-1 rule. If we weren't back in the 1-1 rule, this would be a bad image for the club. But now that we have resolved that situation, I think everything will be okay. And that concludes Raphinha's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Athletic Club in the Spanish Super Cup tomorrow. Time now for the press conference reaction of Hansi Flick, who of course spoke immediately after Raphinha. Very, very short presser from him, which of course I love, but quite crazy that Raphinha spoke for about 20 to 25 minutes. Flick came in, spoke for about 7 to 10 minutes. But anyways, let's go and see what the Mr. had to say this afternoon in Saudi Arabia. He came out saying, I think we're going to be playing against Athletic, and it's always difficult. They're a very good team with good players and a great philosophy. It's a pleasure to watch them play. Against Atletico Madrid, we played well and had a great game, but we still lost the game, but I still think we played well overall. I don't expect the situation of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor to be resolved by tomorrow. We must still wait. So again, they won't be playing tomorrow for sure. Sunday, maybe, if of course we do end up qualifying. It's not a situation for us. Not having them is difficult because they are two important players, but it unites us as a team, and we have to show that we are a team. He was then asked on Raphinha's question. Raphinha said, look, this could potentially affect future signings. Do you agree with that? Hansi Flick said, I don't know, but I feel confident when I was in the situation and I knew exactly what was going on, and I was going to say yes or a yes either way. If you think about it, it's like if I tell you, quit your job and wait a year and there's like a 90% chance that you can become a Barcelona player. You'd probably take it. 80%, you'd probably take it. 70%, you'd probably take it. 60, you'd probably take it. 50-50, if you want to roll the gamble or not. So I can understand what the players from the outside looking for, but in the end, it's Football Club Barcelona. It's the biggest club in the world. So if you want to wait and you want to have the opportunity to play, I'm sure players will wait without any quorums. Then he's asked on the injury update, Lamine Yamal. So that Lamine Yamal, he is ready to play and he might play tomorrow. We'll wait and see. Again, not giving too many hints on his participation in the game. Then he's asked on the Saudi Arabia. Said, I haven't got to know anything of the country yet. I've had dinner instead of the hotel, but I can tell you that the people here love football. He ended up by saying that I feel the team is ready and we have the strength to focus only on this, on football and in the Super Cup, and we have to be focused to be able to win the match tomorrow. And that concluded Hansi Flick's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Athletic Club in the Spanish Super Cup tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We'll start with the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think, of course, it will be fairly straightforward to predict, barring, I would say, one or two changes at the absolute most. I believe that Hansi Flick will select this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go with Iñaki Peña in goal, a back four of Kounde, Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, and Alejandro Balde, midfield three of Pedri, Casado, and Gavi, and our front three of Raphinha, Lewandowski, and Fermín López. First thing, I don't think Flick will start Lamine Yamal. I think he'll definitely bring him off the bench with one eye, of course, on a potential final. Flick has never started a player who's come immediately after an injury as well for Barcelona, so I don't think he will start that now. In regards to the back five, I think it's pretty solid. Maybe Szczesny's, because we know that Szczesny is the cup keeper. We don't know if this counts as a cup or not, so it could be Szczesny. I highly doubt that. The big question, of course, in the defense is Araujo. Will Araujo start or not? I don't think he will. Again, just coming off the back of the injury. Good 90 minutes against Barca, but to chuck him into elite, high-level, season decider game is quite risky business. I think he will keep that natural back five that we had basically all season. Double pivot Pedri, Casado, set in stone. The question now is the attacking midfielder and on the left-hand side. Of course, Ballatore played fantastically well against Barca. Will he earn a start? I don't think so. I think this is pretty much the exact same line that we played against Atletico Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he will stick with this kind of format with, Gavi in the 10 and Fermín off the left. I don't see really anyone else contesting it. Fran just coming back from injury. Christensen just coming back from injury as well. I don't think really anyone can contest that position unless, of course, Daniel Olmo was able to play, but he's not. So I'm fairly confident this will be the 11 that Flick will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach, and I have made one change from Flick's lineup prediction. You guessed it, I've dropped Fermín for Ballatore. That is the only change I have made, that if we are going to play and a midfielder out wide, the first name has to be Ballatore. Of course, I think right now he's better than Fermín López. I think in that role he's better than Fermín López, and I think after that Barca game it is quite clear who deserves to start. If you're playing them in the 10, I would favor Fermín López, but out wide I think Torre has done more than enough now to warrant a start. Again, for me, I wouldn't risk Lamine Yamal either. Have him, ready for the final. Of course, bring him on at halftime for losing or for struggling. No problems there. Back five as well. I wouldn't bring in Araujo. I think it's a bit too early for him to start a game like this. And I would start Szczesny, but I think that's a bit unrealistic for that matter. But this lineup that I would select for this match, and of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you're going to pick my lineup or Flick's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I think it will be a very tight affair, and I have gone with a 1-1 draw, but Barcelona winning on penalties. In my life supporting Barcelona, I've never seen us lose a competitive penalty shootout. I've seen some preseason penalty shootout losses, of course, but a competitive one, I think we're 2 for 2 in my lifetime. The one against Betis and the one against Real Sociedad, if I'm not mistaken, where Ter Stegen was the hero in both of them, and there's no Ter Stegen in this penalty shootout. But I believe that Barcelona will advance to the final, but very, very narrowly. I don't think this will be comfortable for Barcelona whatsoever, and I wouldn't be shocked if we do get knocked out. I honestly would put this probably at 30% Barcelona advance, 30% Bilbao advance, with 40% draw. Or if you want to go by actual progression, I would say it's 50-50. I generally do not. I think it could be a coin toss. It can go either way. I think both teams have the capability of beating the other one. With this being in a neutral ground, though, maybe it will rely more so on individual talent, which of course Barcelona do have more of. But I could not tell you. But I'm backing the team, which goes against my better judgment if I'm being honest. I feel like this team just lets me down so much. But hopefully they can prove me wrong in this game and advance. I'm going with a 1-1 draw, but with a win on penalties for Barcelona. And of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was a match preview for Athletic Club versus Barcelona in the semi-final of the Spanish Super Cup. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to know, firstly, of course, is your score prediction. And secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Flick's lineup? What do you think Flick will go with? What would you go with if you're the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Fall straight after the match by my match reviews. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Massive game ahead. Hopefully we can start off 2025 on the right foot, or this could be just the start of another shit year supporting Barcelona. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for that decider. Take care and Forza Barca.